introduce myself. So my name is Shauna Gallant. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a sneak peek of my future content. So I thought that a good way to do this was to do a get to know me tag. If you guys haven't seen the get to know me tag, it's basically 25 questions, and this will help me open my channel up basically. So to get started, my middle name is Ann, so A-N-N. When I was little, I used to really want my name to have an E at the end. One of my funniest moments was when I was playing ball hockey with a group of guys and my sister from in my neighborhood. So, as we were playing ball hockey, one of the guys wanted to pull a move on me, I guess, and he basically twirled, and I ended up with a split lip, and I started gushing blood, and my sister, I hadn't even noticed until my sister actually said, like, "You're bleeding, oh my god," and I actually ended up having to go to the hospital, but there was nothing that they could really do for it because it was too small of a gap. If you can see it, that little bubble, that is the scar, and it's there for life now. So that was a pretty funny moment. The next question is, how many countries have you visited? So, again, funny. I've never visited any other countries. I've lived in Canada my whole life, and I haven't left. I've visited Edmonton, Quebec, places within Canada, but I've never actually left Canada. Are you in or going to college? So, I'm at the University of Guelph. I take sociology and I have a minor in criminology. I'm now in my second year. I came from Timmins, which was 11 hours away north, so it was quite cold. Usually minus 40s, minus 30s. If you guys didn't know, Shania Twain is actually from Timmins. The next question is, what is your favorite drink? So I'm going to split this up into alcoholic and non-alcoholic. So for an alcoholic drink, I like Caesars, Smirnoff. I like quite easy drinks to bring down. I like tequila as well for shots. Now we're gonna get into non-alcoholic. So for non-alcoholic, I like a lot of orange juice, almond milk. I don't usually drink cow's milk anymore. What is your favorite animal? My favorite animal are bunnies. I used to have two when I was a kid. They were basically the light of my life. I also really like cats. They're some of my favorite animals. We're planning on bringing cats into my apartment pretty soon. I'm very excited. It'd be amazing to have some cats around. What is your favorite and worst subject in high school? So my favorite was law and history. I was always really good at law. History I really liked, but I don't really like being tested on it. I like learning about it. My worst subject in high school was always math, anything that involved numbers, so science. The next question is, what is your favorite perfume? So my favorite perfume is Chanel No. 5. I don't usually wear perfume because I'm generally just at school, but when I'm at work, I do wear Chanel No. 5. I do like Purr by Katy Perry as well if I'm looking for something a little bit lighter. Tea or coffee. So I don't know if you guys can realize, but my throat is really sore, so definitely have to say tea. I have a whole cabinet of tea. What would you or have you name your children? So I do want 3 boys. I would like to name my sons Damon, Spencer, Nick, stuff like that. I've always wanted to name a kid Damon, even before I've been watching Vampire Diaries. What sports do you play or have played? So I have been playing sports for basically my entire life. I started off with just taking gymnastics, and then I ended up getting into soccer, and I've been playing soccer for years and years, since I was probably 4. I got into dance early on as well, and I had since been dancing up until I was in, I think, 11th grade. Um, I still use dancing as like a workout. Um, I go to the gym now for about 2 hours a day every 4 days. I mean, sorry, for 4 days. My bad. Um, and I've done wrestling, I've done cheerleading, I've done baseball. There's a few other done figure skating when I was younger. So I've done quite a few sports. As it is now, I don't do any organized sports because I don't really have the time to do it. So I've since just done sports for fun. What is your favorite book? So my favorite book is The Mastery of Love by Miguel Ruiz, and he's an amazing author, and I really love that book. You guys should check it out if you're interested. I'll link it down below. Some of my favorite YouTubers are people that I've been watching for years. So I would have to say that my favorites are Anna Ciccone. I've been watching her since I was probably in 6th grade. She's amazing and she's so elegant and classy. And I've literally watched her grow up from being in college to then getting married and having kids. It's just amazing to see the transformation. I also really like Shannon Rose. I've been watching her for years as well. Ever since she pretty much started, I think she's grown quite well for the amount of time that she's been doing YouTube. I've always liked Trisha Paytas. I watch her a lot. The Gabby Show, I just started watching her. For the longest time, I never encountered her. I never used to talk about the Gabby Show. So I finally found her, and I really like her. I also like Santiago, Superwoman. I love Superwoman. She's hilarious. Like, you guys should definitely check her out. I like Charles Gross. It's very interesting to learn about the Upper East Side of Manhattan. I also watch Eric Conover. He basically does vlogs of New York City and his life in New York City. So, are you single or taken? I'm single. What is your favorite movie? So my favorite movie is The Aggression Scale. If you guys have never seen The Aggression Scale or heard of it, it's basically a group of hitmen that have instructions from their boss to eliminate a group of people who have apparently stolen his money. So they have to go through the list of people and kill them off, get the money back, and eventually these men end up at a house with a family living there, and basically they kill off the family except for a few people. I'm not going to say who, but one of the kids decides to fight back, and you should see what he does. He's so intelligent, and he ends up actually like helping his sister out and getting them out of the ordeal. What's your idea of an ideal first date? So I would say that anything that would involve talking is an ideal first date, like going for coffee, going for hot chocolate, going for a walk, even going sailing, I guess. I would actually love to do that. I haven't had the chance to do that yet, though. Even fishing. If you can go on a nature walk. I just don't really like the whole movie date because you don't even get to talk to the person. You're just sitting next to each other. So what are you trying to judge about sitting next to each other? I think that it's important to actually talk to your date. How many boyfriends have you had? So, I've had quite a few boyfriends. When I was in high school, I've since haven't really been dating. I've seen guys, I guess, but I've mostly dated in high school. So I've had probably 2 serious relationships, and I'll get into more detail about those in later videos. What was my favorite memory from childhood? So one of my favorite memories was me meeting my sister. I was an only child for years, and I really wanted a sibling. My family did a lot of fostering. So basically, you invite kids into your house to take care of them for a certain amount of time and for the time that they need. And then usually they leave. So I had a lot of trouble with the part of the kids leaving because I really wanted a sibling, and every time that they would leave, I would feel really sad, and I really wanted like someone to stay permanently. We then had a girl come in who was probably around 13, 14, and I literally walked into my living room and she looked at me and she was like, "Howdy." So now it's kind of a funny thing, but at the time, um, I didn't I didn't really get along really well with her at first, but then after a couple months, like we were basically inseparable, and I begged my parents to adopt her, so they ended up adopting her. So I speak French. My dad enrolled me into a French school right from the get-go of my schooling. So um, both my parents are both English, so they were putting me into a core French school. So that was very difficult for me, but I since have done really well in French, and now I have more job opportunities. Since I've been to university, I've switched into English schooling, so it would be easier for me to get better grades, and I probably wouldn't feel as discouraged. Do you have any siblings? So biologically, no, I don't have any siblings, but I do have an adopted sister that I just talked about. Her name is Reese, and she's 3 years older than me, and I'm currently 20, so she'd be 23. How would you describe your fashion sense? So my fashion sense is pretty simple. I like solid colors. I don't really like to wear skirts. I don't really like to dress up too much, but I do like leggings. I like ponchos. I like t-shirts, stuff like that. Some of my favorite restaurants are the restaurants that I actually have worked at or am working at. So I used to work at Montana's, so obviously as a biased, I do love Montana's. I love the Albion Hotel in Guelph. It's quite an older restaurant. They've been standing for 150 years plus. It's one of the oldest bars in Guelph. What are some of your favorite TV shows? So some of my favorite TV shows are Vampire Diaries. I've been watching that ever since it came out. Non-stop. I still watch it. I'm on season 7 on Netflix. I also love The OC. I've been watching that for years and years and years on repeat, basically. It's amazing. I also love Friends. Yeah, stuff like that. I like The 100. I don't really watch it too much anymore though, but I am planning on getting back into it. So PC or Mac? I used to have a PC for years and years, and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. And I used to beg my dad to get me a MacBook, and I tried so hard to afford a MacBook, but I finally actually saved up my money and I got myself a MacBook, and I'll never ever go back. What phone do you have? So I have an iPhone 6 SE. Tell us one of your bad habits. So one of my bad habits is chewing my nails and chewing like the skin around my nails. So I've since decided to actually get some acrylic nails. I got my nails done probably a week ago, and basically I just can't stand biting my nails, but I can't stop, and it sucks because when you're working in a restaurant and you're serving people, you can't really be sitting there biting your nails, so I decided to actually just get some acrylics and be done with it. So I hope that you enjoyed this tag, and I hope that you're excited for the rest of my content. I was quite nervous, but I'm finally posting a YouTube video. Can't believe it. So have a good day, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!